Hi guys, it's Mina, and I decided to do a books I regret reading video. I thought it would be fun to do because you know, like you have products I regret buying. I think it would be fun to do like books, show like some books that I personally didn't like. So for those who don't know, I like to read a lot, and I like to try out different books and read them because I like to see how the story goes, and I love to read a lot. And I also like reading books, and if there's a movie based off of them, I want to read the book first and then I want to see the movie. So these are, okay, so to get started, I'm going to get started, and these are books that I personally just didn't really like that much, or I kind of like, and I have some things like that I didn't like about them, or I just didn't think they were worth reading. So, I do have, and one of these books is based off of a movie that is mentioned in my Movies I Regret Seeing video, and also along with my top 5 most disturbing movies. And if you're interested in those 2 videos, I will put the links in the description box down below. And if you guys like any of these books, then that is okay. I just personally didn't like them. So the first book I have is Island of the Blue Dolphins, and I bet a lot of you guys like this book. I just personally didn't like it because I find it sad because it talks about a girl living on her own at a young age because she lost her family and she was left alone by her own tribe, abandoned, and she's like lived alone like her whole life, and she had to struggle to survive. It's really depressing. I had to read this book in the 5th grade because it was a requirement, and then we had to watch the movie. I don't really remember the movie that well because I've only seen part of it. But I just remember the book. I just found this book just a little bit too sad for me, so that's why I didn't like it. The next book I regret reading is New Moon, and I bet a lot of you guys like this book as well. I just personally didn't like it because of the story. I mean, I love the first Twilight. It's a great book, and I did see the movie that was based off of that book, but I don't know why. I just didn't like New Moon. I just didn't think the story was that good, or I just didn't think it made sense, and never really got into the Twilight series. I only just liked the first book. I just never really got into it, and I only saw part of the movie to this, but and I bet a lot of you guys like New Moon as well. And don't get me wrong, Stephanie Meyer is a pretty good author, even though I only just read one book by her. But New Moon I love Twilight, but New Moon just didn't work for me. The next book I regret reading is Lord of the Flies, and I had to read this in the 9th grade for English class. I did not like this book at all because it's so sad because it talks about a group of schoolboys struggling to survive, and they end up attacking each other and killing each other, which is really sad in their young age, and they go hurting each other. This is just the saddest book I've ever seen. I've ever read. Sorry. I did see the movie that this book was based off of. I had to watch it to compare it to the book in English class in the 9th class my freshman year. It was so sad, and I watched like the black and white version with the British kids in 9th grade, and then my senior year in high school we were watching the English version. Not the English version, the American version, sorry, and I didn't really like that. So this book, it was just too sad for me because it talked about a group of boys being stranded on an island, and they have to struggle to survive, and they end up killing each other, which I found really depressing, and I just didn't like that. The next book I regret reading is The Color Purple, and I bet a lot of you guys also like this book as well. I didn't enjoy it at all, and there's tabs out of it because this is a book I had to read for my English class last semester. I did not like this book at all. It was so depressing. It talks about a girl getting raped by her own dad. It was so sad. And it talks about how she's been called ugly her whole life, and what girl wants to be called ugly her whole life? It's so sad. And how she's being beaten by her own husband. It's the saddest thing. This book is so depressing, and they're going through segregation as well. Well, this is just so sad, and I hate when books books are depressing. I like happy books. I hate depressing books. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know if I want to see the movie after reading this book, but if you guys wanted me to review the movie, please let me know down below, and I might see it, probably not, I don't know. I like watching movies that are based off of books, because there's so much fun to compare to the book. Like, you'll see, like, different things that happen in the movie that are different from the story, because a lot of movies are different from stories. And the last book that I regret reading is one that I showed in my Amazon video, and this book is mentioned in my this is shown in my Amazon video, and also the movie that is based off of this book is mentioned in my top 5 most disturbing movies and my movies I regret seeing video. This one is Perfume, and this is the book by Patrick Susskind. Sorry, I'm covering up the book because the content's disturbing, and I just don't want this to get flagged as inappropriate. So anyway, the reason I regret reading that book is because it's way too hard for me to understand. And for those who don't know, I have a learning disability, so I have a horrible reading comprehension and this book made absolutely no sense to me. I mean, the story was okay, and the history I thought was really interesting, but the way it was describing stuff in this book, it just made absolutely no sense whatsoever. However, I read the book because I wanted to see the movie that this was based off of, and when I was reading it, I was just like, what in the world is going on? This book was trying to describe smells. I could not understand it at all. I had to read it with my mom, and she didn't like it either because she thought it was like weird because it was trying to describe smells as well, and it was just like the weirdest book I've ever read, and it was pretty disturbing too. So those are all of the books that I regret reading. I hope you guys like this video, and if you guys have any requests, please leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in another video soon. Bye!